Early June saw tensions spike sharply between Israel and Iran, culminating in a 12-day military exchange described as one of the most intense in recent Middle Eastern history. On June 13th, Israel launched a major campaign dubbed Operation Rising Lion that struck multiple Iranian military and nuclear targets with precision. Simultaneously, the United States initiated Operation Midnight Hammer, directing heavy bunker-busting bombs at 3 of Iran's best-known nuclear facilities. Iran retaliated with hundreds of missiles and drones, many intercepted, but some struck Israeli territory. Israeli and U.S. airstrikes hit Natanz, Fordow, and Isfahan nuclear installations, and reportedly severely degraded Iran's enrichment capability. Satellite imagery confirmed damage to buildings, centrifuge halls, power infrastructure, and command centers at Natanz. At Fordow, underground facilities were targeted using specialized ordnance capable of penetrating buried bunkers. Believe Iran's delays were measured in months, not years, even though Israeli and U.S. officials initially described the strikes as obliterating Iran's program. U.S. intelligence assessments later estimated only moderate setbacks. Iran reportedly moved or dispersed enriched uranium stockpiles ahead of the strikes to minimize losses. The IAEA has noted Iran's enriched uranium stock remains at high levels, nearing bomb-grade purity, though no definitive proof of active weapons development has emerged. The campaign extended beyond infrastructure to human targets. Israeli covert operations, according to Middle East experts, included simultaneous assassinations of top nuclear scientists in Tehran and senior IRGC command figures. Those operations, codenamed Red Wedding and Operation Narnial, were integral to degrading Iran's operational leadership. The IAEA and other international institutions warned of lingering uncertainty over contamination risks. But no immediate radiation hazards were detected at any of the sites. Both sides framed the crisis in existential terms. Israeli authorities cast their offensive as preemptive self-defense against what they portrayed as Iran's growing nuclear threat. Iran condemned the strikes as an outright declaration of war. It responded with armed retaliation, but also signaled willingness to resume technical talks with the IAEA. Officials announced readiness to re-engage diplomatically while refusing immediate full access to bombed sites, citing safety concerns and ongoing national security. Iran also reaffirmed its right to civil nuclear enrichment and declared its intention to resume its nuclear program as a matter of national pride. The human toll was notable. Reports indicate over 220 Iranians died in Israeli strikes, including civilians and scientists, while around 24 Israelis were killed or injured during retaliatory drone and missile attacks. Infrastructure damage in Iran and Israel also carried economic repercussions, including disruption of oil markets and regional instability. Global powers called for restraint. The UN Security Council held emergency sessions, and Iran continued to face intense scrutiny as it reevaluated its participation in nuclear non-proliferation frameworks. Despite the bombardment, international monitoring agencies emphasize that Iran retains key facilities and technical capacity. The U.S. intelligence community has maintained that Iran still holds more than enough enriched uranium to resume higher-level enrichment within days if necessary. Iran's broader nuclear network remains dispersed across dozens of sites, many fortified or underground. Analysts warn that military action alone cannot fully eliminate Iran's nuclear trajectory, and future conflict may hinge on diplomatic breakthroughs. As of late July, Iran has formally provided the IAEA with technical access to inspection teams, though broader negotiations remain stalled until sanctions or mutual trust issues are addressed. European powers are preparing to re-engage under the multilateral agreement framework, while the U.S. and Iran exchange preconditions to any New Deal. Iran continues to view nuclear enrichment as central to national sovereignty, even as uncertainty remains over its long-term ambitions. Israel has declared readiness to continue strikes if needed. Iran, for its part, signaled it would pursue retaliation through proxies or intelligence operations if necessary. The broader regional implications are severe. Analysts warn of spillover across the Gulf and Levant, especially through Iran-aligned militias. Some Gulf countries have already accommodated U.S. surveillance and military support. Hezbollah and other proxies have held mostly restrained so far, but coordinated escalation cannot be ruled out. Regional markets remain nervous, with oil prices sensitive to disruption fears. International diplomacy now focuses on preventing escalation into full-scale war while rebuilding transparency around Iran's nuclear program.